Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Oracle Reiki spiritual healer. And as we get ready to go into this next quarter, this last quarter of the year, then I wanted to give you this as an understanding that really, hurts me, but it really hits home because of where I came from and because of who my people are. So I have a client edition, a sister, Miss Eunice, our sister, Miss Eunice. She was a sharecropper with her family in the early 1950s. And so I have been doing counseling with her and cleansing negative energy from her so that, we have some sense of justice and we get some accountability going, no matter how old it is, no matter how malignant that negative energy is. Many of the chosen ones can fight that negative energy, and they know who has sent out that negative frequency. So Sister Eunice used to sharecrop with her parents, her mother and father, and they would send her out to the white tea man, the sharecropper who owned the land. They would send her out to this man, to have, intercourse with him. Because if they did not send her out there, then he would not give them, the proper money for working the land. He would not pay them wages. So the mother and the father would send her out there to be with this white tea man so that she could be sacrificed for the entire family. Okay, so we know this to be true because there are other stories like this among our people, among our black and brown people. And, Sister Eunice was telling me that, many times inside the home, she was belittled, demeaned, looked down upon, and she was allowed to be SA'd by other family members, brothers, cousins, uncles, and had no protection in the family unit because they were embarrassed because they had to do this to her. And they knew that she had no protection in the family unit. And she was sacrificed by the entire family. So when you're having these types of rituals over your life, and you're dealing with manipulation, a mother and father who is going to refuse to stand up and siphon the energy from one child, then you already know that you are the chosen one. You are the black sheep. Yes, you are the scapegoat that they're going to try to put all their mess off upon you. They're going to dump all their mess off on you and say that you're the problem, when in reality, they do not want to take accountability for doing someone so much malevolent manipulation and evil deeds that they had really fallen in alignment with the entity to sacrifice this one child. And she was telling me, that all of these types of attacks upon her really happened after she got pregnant for the white tea man. They really got bad. And she had to leave, she had to leave the farm because she was getting attacked every week, almost every night. And nothing was being said by the mother or the father. So in many of these types of attacks, then we have to understand that this type of behavior has gone on in our family. This is the type of behavior that has been swept up under the rug, hush, hush. And, there was another story like this that I had on TikTok a couple of weeks ago where the mother was addicted and the daughter was doing a video with the mother at that time addicted, and she was telling her that she allowed the men to come in and SA them when they were little. She allowed them to be raped because she was addicted. So these are the sad stories from our own homes, our own people that has failed to protect the women. You know, that their beauty has caused these types of attacks upon these black women, these vulnerable women. And so when we are healing these types of attacks upon our people, when we are healing these types, and they have to be healed, they cannot be swept under the rug any longer because they turn into generational curses. That injustice that was sent out, that negative frequency, and everybody that was involved with that attack, with that sacrifice, if they're not, paying for it, they have to pay for that. That negative energy has to be returned to sender. So when you start cleansing this negative energy, and there's a couple of things that I'm going to give you when you're dealing with this type of energy. I've already given you some teas that you can use. You can use the lady's mantle when you have been, in those situations where you have been raped or SA'd. Use the lady's mantle. But we're going to do an in-depth cleanse for our December 4th full moon cleanse, and a lot of that negative energy is going to go back. So what I'm going to do is prescribe for you to, I've already given you the prayers. I'm going to prescribe for you to do a 3-day garlic cleanse, so it removes any kind of toxic negative energy from your blood. It removes anything from your stomach. It removes anything for your mind. You'll need to eat a clove of garlics for 3 days straight in order to remove that negative energy out of your body and cut those cords from those type of sacrificing energy vampires. And we're going to continue to use our black tourmaline, and we're going to use our asphyxity in order to cleanse any negative energy in our surroundings, in our air. So we send that negative energy back to those people, those colonizers, those enslavers who have been in alignment with this type of behavior. Those people in our family, those men in our family who have been in alignment with those types of behavior. Those women in our family who have been in alignment with this type of behavior of, wanting to sacrifice, and rape young women in our community, in our household, and sweeping it under the rug. Not wanting to talk about it. Not wanting, and saying things like that's just the way men do. No, that's not the way men do with their daughters and their nieces and cousins in the house. That's not what we're doing. And so that negative energy, when that frequency goes back to those persons, especially when you've been holding that kind of aggression for so long, that negative energy has to go back to those people who sent out that frequency, each and every one of them. And usually that type of, time, that type of built up aggression with that type of power, it usually will unalive the persons who have sent out and been engaged in those types of behaviors and conducts. So this is what we are sending that negative energy away from us. We're cleansing that negative energy from us. We do not need to physically go and attack a person. We only need to purify ourselves, purify our minds from those negative thoughts, from that behavior, from that act that took our innocence. We need to cleanse that negative energy from those people who believe that it was okay to sacrifice their own children or stand by and do nothing and say nothing, when they're seeing injustice. So I hope that all of you have understood this message, that these types of behaviors that we are seeing right now in real time have been going on all of our parents' life, and they continue as a pattern, as a cycle to go on in our lives. We are going to cleanse that negative energy, and it's going to be returned to sender. So I hope you received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me over all of my platforms. Book your one-on-one sessions with me. Donate to my channel. Leave me a comment. Please make sure that you're booking your life coaching sessions or your video chat sessions so that I can acclimate a gift to your situation. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.